The definition of inspiration that I love best is something that is God-breathed. To me, that is what it feels like to be inspired. That you've been given breath, encouragement, motivation to do something awesome or to be someone better than who you are today. Now, I don't think that the things of this life can do that second bit. Things can inspire you to do stuff, but they cannot make you a better person. But people can. People, not things, not stuff. So, who inspires me to be a better version of myself? Now, in a previous video, we talked about the things in life that inspire me. I'll drop a card and a link for that video. It was a good one, but I want to talk to you about something more important to me inspirationally than things. People. So I think we can all understand that in this life, the people who inspire me is going to be potentially completely different than the people who inspire you. So let's talk about who inspires me. Now, understand that this is not a list of who I think should inspire you. Your inspirations may be very different than mine, or some may be very similar. The hope is that by talking about who inspires me in life, it will encourage you to think hard about who inspires you. This video is one side of a two-sided conversation, so I encourage you to respond in the comments about who inspires you in life and in your creativity. I'm going to break down the people who inspire me into three areas. The first area is general inspiration. These are the people who inspire me in every single part of my life. First off, my God inspires me. My faith in God through the finished work of Jesus on the cross to redeem me from my sin and allow my adoption into His family, that cannot help but be my main inspiration in every area of my life. The inspiration God provides is to be not just a better man, but to be more like Jesus in every part of my life. Without this specific inspiration, there is no way for me to be anyone of significance in life. My relationship with God is the most important part of my life, my defining characteristic, a son of God. The next most inspiring person in my life is my wife. Every day, my wife inspires me. She inspires my faith, to care more deeply, to love with every part of who I am, to try harder, to be creative. And she is the inspiration for so much of my creative output. Now, the answer to the question of why she inspires me so much is simple. She has deep faith. She cares so deeply, loves me with all that she has in her, tries to do everything in her life with all she has in her, and she is the most creative person that I know. She simply exemplifies every good thing that I wish to be in life. She is the perfect partner in my life and a true gift from God. Then there are my three kids, the blessing and joy that they are in my life. Ever since I first laid eyes on each of them, I have been undeniably head over heels in love with them, imperfections and all. Each of them has inspired me to grow as a man and as a father. Now, I've failed as a dad more times than I'd like to admit, but through it all, I have known every day that they love me. Each of them is artistically creative, and through the pursuit of their creative goals, they inspire me to do the work of creating. A lot of my artistically creative endeavors are directly a product of their impact on my life, on my heart. I know that I'm a better man in all areas of my life because God gave these amazing kids to my wife and to me. The next area of inspiration is life inspiration, the people who inspire me to be a better man. So there are a few people that I will probably never meet who have inspired me to be a better man. One of those is the author Bob Goff. The books that he has written on love and chasing your dreams in life have had a direct impact on who I am as a man and how I approach life. It is amazing to me how his stories about his life have had an ability to move me, especially since I'm not as big a reader as I would like to be. But to be fair, I think that Bob has inspired me to read more. Another person who has had an impact on me that I'll probably never meet is the comedian Michael Jr. His views on life and his way of delivering those views in a funny way have had an impact on me. He sees things in a unique way, which is so refreshing. There is just something about the way he sees the world around him that inspires me to try to see the world the way he does. And then there are the people that I do know who have had impact on me and inspired me to be a better man. I'm going to list just a few people, but understand that there are so many more than just these people. My family, good friends that I've known from all over the world, and many people that I have had the honor of working with over the years. Each place I've ever lived, God has provided men and women who have encouraged, uplifted my family and me. Specifically, there's my good friend Rodney and his wife Selma. They are people of God who care deeply for those around them. They've always been there for my family and have loved us so well over the years. Rodney is one of the men in my life who has counseled me regularly. Without his counsel, I would not be the man I am today. He's a great example of selfless care and love. He's an inspiration to me for how to love and care for other men in my life. And that is the kind of inspiration that matters most. Now, I also have a good friend, Eddie. He and his wife, Teresa, are some of the best friends my wife and I have ever had in our lives together, which has been a blessing that I'm not sure they even really understand. Now, Eddie is a great storyteller. He's always got a smile on his face. He cares deeply about everything of importance in his life, including me. He will drop everything to help those in need around him. And without fail, he is always there when you need him. He inspires me to be all in, all the time for those around me, because that's the way he lives his life day in and day out. Then there's a young man that I know, and I'm not going to mention his name here, but this man went through so many things in his personal life and persevered through every setback that would have broken most men. Discovering his wife's infidelity and doing the hard work of restoring their marriage and making it prosper. And in the process of restoring his marriage, discovering that his wife was pregnant with another man's child. But he chose to love and raise that child as his own. Discovering that his next child had serious birth defects on the day of her birth, but loving and caring for her and providing every possible medical option to make her life as rich as possible. And while going through all of that, he was faithful to God and to his family and his church, working as many jobs as it took to care for his young family. I don't think I need to say why he inspires me. But as I look at his life now, I am so blown away by how God has blessed his faithfulness. Now, the last area of inspiration that I want to talk about is creative inspiration. The people who inspire me to create. When it comes to creative inspiration, for me, most of that comes from people who are musically creative. But that shouldn't be a real surprise since my primary artistically creative expression is through music. Now, there are all kinds of people who have had some level of musical inspiration in my life. When I was a kid, those people were my granddaddy, my mom, my dad, my older brother and his friends, not to mention all the guys and gals that I've ever played music with. So all of these people influenced me creatively in some way, And that combination of influence has impacted my creative ability and output. But then there was the single greatest creatively inspirational person in my entire life, George Melvin. Now, that's a name that might not mean anything to you, but for me, that is the single name that comes to mind when I think about my creative inspirations. George was a jazz musician in the town I lived in as a kid. He encouraged me to play music. He saw something in me and wanted to encourage me to pursue what he saw. He played music with me, and he allowed me a glimpse behind the curtain to see how music is really a magical collaborative process. Without George's encouragement, I would never have taken up music. But more than that, he was the closest thing that I had to a dad for about 10 years after my dad passed away. He even played piano for my wedding. He was so much more than just a musician I knew. So George was more than just a creative inspiration. In fact, his creative impact on me was huge, but that impact pales in comparison to his impact on my life in almost every other way. I was truly blessed to know this man. To wrap this all up, let me mention some of my musically creative inspirations. These are the bands and individuals that inspire me to create. Sure, it is the things that they create that we consume, but it is also the knowledge of the process that they used that inspires me. Their process is an extension of who they are. So in essence, their work lets us in on a bit of who they are, at least in the moments that they created the music that we love. Without these inspirations, I would not create the musical content that I do. Each of these bands and individuals has molded and shaped part of my own creative process, which is the impact that they have had on my inspiration. Now, here's a pretty long list, but it is far from exhaustive. There is no explanation for these choices other than that they move me. And these are in no particular order. Dave Brubeck, the Dave Matthews Band, Snarky Puppy, Led Zeppelin, Medeski Martin and Wood, composer John Williams, Black Keys, Daryl Hall and John Oates, Ray Charles, the Wood Brothers, Prince, Metallica, Carlos Santana, the Civil Wars, Simon and Garfunkel, the composer Daniel Pemberton, John Mayer, Elvis, Mumford & Sons, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Jack White, the White Stripes, Nina Simone, Ozzy Osbourne, Etta James, U2, The Animals, Bing Crosby, John Denver, Bill Withers, Adele, Kiss, Marvin Gaye, the composer David Holmes, Booker T and the MGs, Van Halen, Soundgarden, Ed Sheeran, The Police, Nat King Cole, Counting Crows, The Kinks, Blind Melon, Alice in Chains, 21 Pilots, ABBA, Bruno Mars, Lenny Kravitz, Phil Collins, and of course, the Beatles. So that's 50 musical influences, but I could give you so many more. These bands and individuals have inspired my creative expression, and although that has not made me a better person, embracing their work has given me opportunities to learn from their creative expression. Each helps to shape my creative identity. Now, if you sit back and think about it, when it comes to inspirations in life, it is the who's, not the what's, that mean the most. Sure, things can inspire and motivate, but not to the extent that people do. I said it in a previous video, but I'm inspired most by relationships. Relationships with all kinds of people in my life, and especially those close to me because of how important they are to me. Without relationships, inspiration, as great as it is, lacks the same meaning. Now, I want to encourage you to make your own list of people that inspire you. Think about who in your life has inspired you to be a better version of yourself and who has inspired your creativity. Now, the greatest thing about the people in life who inspire us is that we take a bit of each of them with us every day, everywhere we go. So, go, create, and be a blessing. You can support our channel by subscribing, hitting that bell icon to get notified when new content comes out, and liking our videos. If you'd like to consider supporting our team financially, there's a link in the video description with more details. Those things will help our channel for sure, but if you do nothing else, please spend some time in the comments of our videos encouraging one another to create, to help others create, and to help grow that creative nature within us all. Oh, and you can check out these videos too. Thanks. We'll see you again soon.